All right, looks like we have everybody here, so let's call this meeting to order. I've got 5 o'clock. It is November 24th. Welcome, everyone. Quick introductions. We have on the call here, we have Directors Clausen, Eastham, Etsy, Godwin, Malone, and Williams. We have Interim Superintendent Matt Degner and Recording Secretary Kim Colden. Give a little reminder, tonight is our organizational meeting, which is split into a separate meeting. We're going to keep it all on one Zoom call. So if you're attending this meeting, you don't have to leave and come back. We'll just adjourn and then call the next meeting to order. Just make that clear. And when we get to the community comment portion here shortly, that will be for both parts of the meeting. So any agenda items you would like to speak to on either piece of that, you could do it here at the beginning of this meeting. Before we get to that, I'd like to have a few words. A little less than 2 weeks ago, we had the tragic death of one of our students here in the district. Brooke Langland was a senior at Liberty High School. She was a member of the award-winning Liberty High dance team, an integral part of the Liberty High Difference Makers. So our thoughts and our hearts are with Brooke's family and her dance team family and all of the Liberty community. I remember Brooke from her junior high years going through confirmation classes with my son at Zion Lutheran Church. So I will always remember her that way. So if you indulge me, I would like to have a moment of silence for everyone to remember Brooke in their own way. Okay, thank you, everyone. And I'm sure Brooke's dance team teammates would remind you that in a world full of hate, to be a light. With that, we can move into our community comment section. If you are interested in making comments on anything in this agenda, or as I said, the next meeting's agenda, you can use the raise hand feature, and I will call on you, and then Kim will give you the rights to speak. We did have one hand up already, so I will call on Joy Walker first. You will have 4 minutes if you'd like to speak.
Thank you, Sean. I just got a copy of the agenda here not very long ago, so I haven't had very many minutes to think about this. But I noticed I'm a math teacher, by the way, at West, and have been for a couple of decades plus in this school district. And I noticed that there's a new course called Thinking Mathematically that I have a lot of questions about because I had absolutely no idea that we were going to have this particular course right now, and I don't fully understand the description of it. This is not something that was discussed with math teachers, secondary math teachers in the district, not as a group anyway, not as the whole group anyway. So I certainly personally had no knowledge of this. So I'm a little bit surprised that that didn't come by all of us because it impacts an awful lot of teachers because the courses, certainly for the courses that want to eliminate, that are on your list, eliminate impacts a lot of teachers. But this particular course, I have all sorts of questions. I mean, what is the curriculum? Are there any skills attached? Because as I read the description, it looks like there's something about the importance of mindset as it relates to success in math. And I know these kinds of courses have been kicked around, discussed in years past, but I don't understand fully what this course means or what it is. And I would feel like those of us who teach in the math department kind of ought to have an idea what that's about, or what should have had a heads up about that. So I'm a little bit surprised. If it's concurrent to Algebra 1, does that mean that students sign up for it, or will they just be placed in it? And if so, by what process? Are there any skills in that class, or is it just strictly a mindset? I mean, I just could go on about questions. I'll try to limit it to just a few. Also, who is going to develop this curriculum, whatever it is? And, will teachers, that teach these kinds of courses be included in the development? And also maybe teachers who teach students after they leave that course? Would they be included in the discussions? And I just feel like this impacts a lot of students and a lot of teachers. So that concerns me a lot. As far as eliminating all math skills, intro to algebra and algebra 1A and informal geometry. The one comment I'll make is I have tested personally many ELL students from other countries that don't know what 6+5 is. And it's really difficult for me to comprehend as a couple of decades plus math teacher, how to put students that are that low in skills right off the bat in algebra 1 in a high school. Some of them have never been to school before or have virtually no school experience, and it just concerns me a lot. I understand about standards, and I understand that we want students to be sitting in grade level standards, but I also understand reality. And to me, I just don't see what kind of a burden you're going to place on teachers when you expect them to fill all of that in, fill in all of those missing skills from years and years of not being in school. I see my time is about up. I don't need to go on. I just wanted to comment because I'm just a little bit taken aback by some of these things, and not sure how many of my colleagues are aware. So I just wanted to speak up. Thank you really very much for this opportunity, and happy Thanksgiving week to everyone. Thank you very much.
And thanks so much, Joy. Appreciate it. All right. Next up, Reem Kurcha.
It's telling me the allow to talk is not available because she's using an older version of Zoom. I'm trying to promote her to a panelist so she can talk.
Oh, all right. So, hello, my name is William Kurja, and I'm an 8th grader attending Northwest Junior High. I remember that we've been talking about having no school on Eid since 2017, and the board said they would keep it in mind and make sure to talk about it when they make the calendar. We talked about it many times, but we always got the same response of the calendar is already finalized. We'll make sure to talk about it for the next year. And with all due respect, I, as do many others, feel somewhat deceived and disappointed in the matter. I understand that this timing is somewhat tight, but doesn't mean that changing the calendar would be impossible. A challenge is always great because it gives you a sense of achievement after completion, which is because the calendar is being finalized soon. I just learned that it will be on about May 13th, 2020, which means that this needs to be completed before then. The board has been thinking for 3 years without a response about this. They promised to make a decision before the next Eid falls during school. Well, it's been 3 years, and we need this to be completed now. You have the power to make our dreams come true or crush them. May 13th is on Wednesday, and as the calendar is being finalized, that means it has room for adjustments. Would you please keep May 12th, 13, 14, and 15 open for discussion, as Eid can't shift no more than about 2 days than the predicted day. If you research when is Eid 2021, my statement can be validated. And I know that having no school on Eid will not only benefit the community in this hard time, it can bring everyone together, because learning more about others' cultures can have more people, can give more people more stuff in common, which can represent us as America, because we are a state of diversity, or a country of diversity. That's it.
Thank you, Reem. I really appreciate your comments today. Is there any other folks that would like to make comments? Gone. All right, let's move on to our next agenda item. We need, I would entertain a motion to approve our very brief agenda for this portion of the meeting.
I move that we approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
All right, Kim, ready to vote?
Online voting is open. All votes have been cast and the motion carries with all directors voting in favor.
All right, so we can move into the consent agenda. Is there any comments after people reviewed the bills at all?
I looked through the bills and I didn't have any questions.
All right. Are there any items that directors would like to pull? All right. If not, I would entertain a motion.
Move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second,
Second.
All right, Kim, I think we're ready to vote.
Online voting is open. All votes have been cast and the motion carries with all directors voting in favor.
All right, and that's the end of this very brief meeting. So I'd entertain a motion to adjourn this portion.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.